second scrimmage of fall camp is a wrap, and the freshman quarterback Tyler Van Dyke threw for over 200 yards with only 5 completed passes. Am I reading this right?
Coach Coop, Coach Coop, Coach Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach Coop, Coach Coop, Coach Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
What's going on, Canes fans? I know that I'm 2 or 3 days late on this stat video, but it's been pretty crazy around here lately. But luckily, not all of it's been bad. I actually have one huge announcements for you. You guys that are watching this video are going to be the first ones to hear about it. The official Coach Coop merchandise is now live and up for sale. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing a shirt that has my face on it right now. Is that weird? Let's not make it weird. It's the garbage can Coop tee. Some of you that have been around for a while remember the story behind this, but it's just one of the shirts that are available. There's currently 4 shirts for sale, and all of them are available in at least 10 different colors. There's also tank tops, there's hoodies, up to size 5XL. A ton of work, guys, I'm telling you, has went into this. These weren't put together in some type of little t-shirt editor or some type of template. I actually got together with some professional artists and they drew these up. My personal favorite is going to be the 5 and counting drip tee. I love that one. Those of you that are very familiar with the hat that I wear, it's a similar design, but on a t-shirt with the drip design. If you're looking for a shirt that's going to turn some heads and people actually will approach you and ask you, hey, what's this all about? And if you run into other Miami Hurricanes fans, they're like, hey, I know what that's about. So if you're interested, head over to designbyhumans.com/shop/Coach Coop, or even easier, you can click the link in the description, or you can click the link in my pinned comment. All of them will take you straight over to the shop. I wanted to ensure that the quality of these shirts is something that I myself would wear. So order yours today so you can have it ready for game day. Of course, that is if you want to. So let's dive into this and take a quick look at the stats from scrimmage number 2. A couple of quick disclaimers. Keep in mind that the media was not allowed to view this scrimmage, same as number 1. And also the fact that we don't know when the offense was going up against the number 1 defense or number 2 defense, and vice versa. So these stats are somewhat limited, but it's still interesting to take a look. Kicking it off with the quarterbacks, D'Eriq King threw for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. I have no idea how many passes he actually threw, how many were complete, how many were incomplete. That's all we've got. Next up, Tyler Van Dyke was 5 of 6 for 205 yards and 1 touchdown pass. And yes, you're reading that correctly. That's an average of 41 yards per completion. Now, of course, keep in mind that we don't know what defense was on the field, as I said earlier, but that's still a good sign for TBD. He did, however, throw 1 interception that was a short yardage pass into the end zone. N'Kosi Perry did also receive some snaps during scrimmage number 2, but his stats are unknown. Moving on to the rushing stats, Cameron Harris shined in scrimmage number 2, racking up 13 carries for 77 yards and 3 touchdowns. Talk about activating beast mode. One of those touchdowns was a short 5-yard run, and the other 2 were from receptions. We don't have those stats, however. Jalen Knighton still played pretty well in scrimmage number 2, getting 12 carries for 43 yards and 1 touchdown. And lastly, we do have some stats for Don Chaney Jr., who also picked up 8 carries for 48 yards and 1 touchdown. I gotta say that I like seeing the 6-yard average per carry for Don Chaney right there. We don't have a lot of receiving stats to look at, but taking a look at the few we do have, shining once again is none other than Xavier Restrepo, who caught 5 passes for 79 yards and 1 touchdown. Keyshawn Smith also hauled in 3 passes for 53 yards and 1 touchdown. It's good to hear that tight end Brevin Jordan saw some action, but we have very limited stats for him. All I know is that he caught 4 catches. I have no idea what the yardage is for those. And lastly, wrapping up receiving, tight end Larry Hodges totaled 45 yards. The amount of receptions is unknown, but we do know that he caught 1 touchdown pass. In an interview after the matchup, Manny Diaz said that the defense played much better in scrimmage number 2 than they did the first go-around, especially in the first half. And again, I don't know all the stats, but taking a look at what we do have, Quincy Roche had 4 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Jalen Phillips had 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 sack. I'm happy to be talking about Jalen Phillips here. Jafari Harvey racked up 6 tackles in total. Linebacker Avery Huff really impressed with 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Corey Flagg had 2 tackles. Corey Couch had 2 tackles and 1 interception. And safety Brian Ballum had 7 tackles, 1 interception, and he forced a fumble. And if at any point I'm reading through these too quickly, you can always, of course, pause it as we have the visuals up on the screen, and you can take a look at the stats that we had. What continues to impress me and put a smile on my face is after looking at these stats and watching the highlights from the scrimmages, how much these young guys are stepping up and making plays. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Restrepo leads the receivers in receptions and receiving yards. Knighton leads the backs in rushing yards. Tyler Van Dyke averaged 41 yards per completion. I hope that the coaches continue to not play favorites and they let these young guys play. Put the guys in. Start the guys that have heart, passion, that want to put the work in and want to win games. But that's just a quick breakdown on the stats for scrimmage number 2. I understand and fully realize that most of you have probably already seen those at this point. Again, I'm 2 or 3 days late on this video, but I've had a whole lot going on in real life, just a bunch of crazy nonsense and things that I've had to deal with. But again, the Coach Coop merch is live, and also, I'm sure many of you have noticed, let me slide to the side for a second. For those of you that care, that have made it to the end of the video, I'm sure you guys have noticed that there's been some additions. Some things have changed. Those are real, authentic game day helmets. I could strap up and put one of those on right now. I'm ready to rock. Those are not stickers. We've got the new Hurricane sign. I've got some posters of some things that mean something to me in my life. We've still got the light up you, of course, moved the shelves, and then also, you know what? For those of you that made it to the end of the video, I'm not even going to edit it. I'm not even going to cut it, okay? Let me just show you something real cool that I have coming up here. Let me slide my chair over to the side, out of the picture. Now check this out. I'm not going to edit it. Just sit tight for just a second. Check this out. I want to show you something real cool that I've been working on. You guys know how we do the night before streams. Once the season starts, I've got kind of a more chill environment set up here. So that way what we're going to do is we've got half the orange. Listen to me. I've got half the room orange, half the room green. And then that way we can kind of, now I'm going to turn some lights on so you can actually see me. Hold up. I just wanted you guys to kind of see the environment that this created, kind of what I've got in place, what we're trying to set up here. So some big things coming to the Coach Coop YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm going to continue to try to make this the most fun experience as possible for Miami Hurricanes fans in the 2020 season. I'm expecting a ton of people to be hopping into the live streams because of limited attendance at the games. So we're just going to have a good time and just enjoy ourselves over here. So thank you guys for all the love that you've shown me already, and I'm pumped for the 2020 season. I'm ready to ramp things up. Remember, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out.